Hey, Talkin Hawks fans, welcome back. How's everybody doing out there? We are going to be recapping our unfortunate loss to Iowa State over the weekend. We're also going to be talking to Zach Lutmer, who had actually a really great game over the weekend. And we're also going to be previewing our game versus UMass. We're coming back to Kinnick Stadium. Welcome back to Talkin Hawks, presented by Hills Bank.
Hills Bank is your hometown financial champion, here to help you score some wins. Because at Hills Bank, managing your money is easy. They've got 19 local branches, 40,000 surcharge-free ATMs around the country, and online account access anytime.
Plus, Hills Bank is the bank on campus at the University of Iowa. So whether you're a student athlete or a Hawkeye superfan, Hills Bank helps you get in the game. Visit us today in person or at hillsbank.com, member FDIC. Hey, Matt.
Hey.
How you doing?
God is good.
How you doing?
Another day.
You know, ask me how I'm doing, Matt.
I don't want.
I'm doing okay. This morning, I made a cup of coffee. And yesterday, you were so nice to go get me a chocolate croissant, which is my favorite thing.
This is how we're going to start the podcast?
And I had half of it left. And I made my coffee and I said, oh, I forgot that was in there. And thought to myself, I'm going to get the kids breakfast, get them all settled. When we leave, I'm going to grab that, drink my coffee, have my croissant on the way
Be
to
ready
the
for
podcast.
the hashtag. Be nicer to Matt.
On the way to the podcast, okay? And I think you saw I was a bit dejected when you grabbed it. And you
I grabbed half. She had eaten half prior. I said,
yesterday.
I took a bite because I really like them too. And I said, would you like me to save this for you?
So then he said that. And in my head, I was thinking, oh, I'm so going to use this as a little bit on the podcast that he took my chocolate croissant. And then he said, do you want half of this? And I was like, you ruined the bit. But then, Matt, what you didn't know, you ready for this? You still don't know it, is that I saw that in there and I said, oh, I would like to have that. And then you know what else I saw in the box? A fruit fly. It was inside the box, all over that chocolate croissant that you stole from me. So, karma.
Okay. Well, again, hashtag, because I said, would you rather me not eat this so you can have it? That did come out of my mouth.
I know. It was really nice.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, I just had to throw that in there.
Great.
How was the fruit fly?
Delicious.
Well, I just wanted to have like a little like funny bit, before.
Oh, that was really funny.
Matthew was laughing. He's still laughing.
He's laughing at my reaction. He's not. He's laughing at with both of us.
Yeah, be nicer to me. So
Thanks.
Anyway, it was a tough loss, but I will say after the loss, I think Dax like kind of saw in our faces, we were like, dang it, feeling a little sad. And he was like, it's fine, guys. It's no big deal. They're going to play again and they could win again.
He did say that. That's almost verbatim.
Yep. He was so just like, you guys, like, relax. It's not a big deal. Not that we were like, really upset or crying or anything like that. But he definitely was like, you guys, seriously, it's not a big deal. So take that for what it's worth, Hawkeye fans. If you're listening, it's all right. They can play again and they can win.
They have another 10 games.
It's true. I have to say this is funny. So I was just looking on.
Is it as funny as the first bit?
No.
I keep loving that I'm saying these as soon as Matthew's taking a drink of his coffee.
Okay.
Is that a latte?
No, this is
there?
Actually funny. So you know what's his name? Dylan Raiola. Is that how you say his name? From Nebraska?
Something like that. I actually don't know.
He really wants to look like Patrick Mahomes, right? And like
that's the
acts
joke,
like
yeah.
him. Yeah. Like everybody says that and like says he like talks like him and walks like him. Does he talk like him? Maybe they don't say that.
Talks.
Okay, he walks like him, all this stuff. And his tight end, let's see, what's his name? Luke Lindenmeyer just proposed to his girlfriend who's on, it looks like the dance team after their game, like on the field. And he was like surrounded by everybody. Sound familiar, Matt? Jeez. I'm saying it's like us. It's so cute.
So cute.
Anyway, so he proposed, the tight end proposed to his girlfriend on the field. And this person, his name on Twitter, I'm going to call it Twitter because it's not X. It's such a dumb name. So this guy, at Slater Kinnick _
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so he posted it and he was like, so Dylan Raiola's tight end has a very public engagement now. He'll do whatever it takes to be Patrick Mahomes.
Jeez.
That's so funny. That's funny. Anyway, I just had to share that.
Thank you.
It was so
what are
random.
we, 4 minutes in before talking ball? Shooting for 5. Oh, we're at 5. Oh, we got there.
See, you're welcome. I was just trying to lighten the mood a little bit on everybody's Monday morning when they're taking all this in. So let's talk about the game now.
Sure. What did you see, Laura?
I saw that I was sad when the game was over. That's what I saw.
Okay.
I saw some bright spots in the offense. I will say that.
Good.
I will say Jacob Gill definitely has a lot of potential to be like our go-to guy on third down or second or first if we decide to throw it on first. Never know. And I thought Mark looked more confident, more comfortable in the pocket. Mm-hmm. I really like the way he can run because when he runs, you don't kind of wince and go, oh gosh, please get down. Like he looks like a solid lower your shoulder. He did lower his shoulder a couple of times.
Yeah, I don't want him to do that too much.
I'm just saying he looks like solid, you know.
He looks like he can handle the hits, yes.
Totally. Let's see, what else did I notice? Our line looked good on a bunch of different plays where he had a lot of really good time back there. I thought that looked really great. And then the ending was just really unfortunate. And on the defensive side, I thought Zack Lutmer had a really good game.
He did. He was flying around.
Okay. That's my analysis. Can you give us a little more in-depth?
Actually, we're ready to go to the interview. Here we go.
Okay. Go ahead.
So offensively, yes, I do agree that he was in a little bit better rhythm. There's just a couple things that were just close. It's week 2. You're not going to be 100% in yet. You're not going to have the playbook 100% in. You're not going to be fully immersed in the system yet, right? We talked about it last year. And I don't know if it's that he doesn't think it's his team yet, meaning Mark. Coming from South Dakota State, he was a 4-year starter. Like he had done everything at that level. But then going to a different college, coming in knowing you're going to be the guy, coming off an injury, right? I'm sure there's a lot of head games that are to be played. There's a lot of things that would make you feel not comfortable when you're starting there. It's a new college. You're making money. Supposed to be the guy, coming off an injury, learning a new system, right? All of these things are coming in with Mark. And I think that makes that really tough. We had an opportunity to talk to Mark. If you haven't checked out that episode, go see it. And I think he really wants it. But as like a fan, I want him to know that like we're fully behind him. Like his ability to run the ball, we know we can throw the ball. He's thrown for over 10,000 passing yards, right? Like this isn't new to him. I'm just sure that there's a lot of different emotions that are coming along with this. And as a fan, and again, as somebody that we spoke to, play the game, understand the mental side of it can be very, not necessarily difficult to navigate, but just a lot of different thoughts that can kind of push and pull in different directions. And, you know, if Hank ends up being the guy, then Hank's the guy. But as of right now, this is Mark's football team. And I mean, Talkin Hawks is fully behind Mark and what he's going to be able to do moving forward, regardless of what all the media stuff is. I believe in Mark Gronowski, and just a matter of how long until he fully gets into the system to where he can go do what he needs.
And if you didn't see the story that Tom Rinaldi did, who's the guy that literally makes everybody cry.
Tom Rinaldi always makes everybody cry every Saturday when you're trying to get hyped for the game.
Like, I just want to watch the game. I wasn't here to start crying. Matt and I were literally, not to out you, Matt, but we were both like had tears in our eyes after watching that. The segment on Mark and his brother.
And he does talk a little bit about it on our episode as well.
He does, yeah.
He touches on it, but not like Tom Rinaldi did.
Yeah, it was really, really good. I actually like reposted it on Instagram. So if you want to find it, that's a really easy way to find it. But so good. So good. So I'm behind Mark too, because now I told Matt, now my heart's involved. Now I feel for him on a level of he just loves his family and he loves his brother and he's a good guy. And now here I am. So not only am I rooting for him on the field, but, you know, my heart's in the story.
So anyway, all that being said, there was some stuff that looked good. But like I said, there's some things to tweak out. Like 3rd and 4, Jacob Gill has to run that route 4 yards. Now, Mark could probably deliver a better ball. He might have put it low to keep Gill from getting smacked as soon as he catches it. Although I think if he throws it off the other shoulder, he has an opportunity there. There's another 3rd and 7 where we're driving. It was our first field goal of the game. It's 3rd and 7. And it's the same route that Gill ran against Albany, where he comes out, does a little stutter step, and Mark throws it on rhythm. For whatever reason, that one seems to be clicking. But he did the little move and then came out. And as a receiver, you're taught that when the ball's in the air, you circle back to the ball, meaning you go meet it just so it doesn't get picked off. Well, if you run the route at 7 and then you come back to the ball at 5, you're now 2 yards short and you're on the sideline. It's hard to stay in. So like little things like that are going to continue to move forward once we fully understand and grasp how to do the entire system. One thing that I also noticed, and maybe this is environment, but you're talking Sam Phillips, who's a first-year guy in the system. Like I said, Mark Gronowski, first-year guy in the system. Freshman running back. Now, granted, Xavier Williams is a redshirt freshman, but with Addison Ostringa going down, now you've got another tight end that hasn't played a ton. Obviously, thoughts and prayers will go out to Addison, but we looked a little discombobulated. So many times he was having to flip the play and like tell him to go here, just getting lined up. There were multiple plays where guys are running close to one another. So I think it's just one of those that like you just get another week of practice, get another couple reps, right? And all that being said, we lost by 3 to a potential top 10 team. Like they might be top 10 after this is being recorded before the rankings come out, but they might be top 10 or top 12 by the time this goes down because a lot of the top teams are getting beat. Mm-hmm. And we still almost had that. And we had 2 phenomenal drives. One was, I think, a 4.5 minute drive at the end of the first half that ended in a touchdown. Shout out to the personal foul call on 3rd down. But like there were a lot of things that we were pushing forward. The interception wasn't great, obviously, but I think that was a technique thing on behalf of Caden Weegan.
Okay, tell me about that.
So I talk a lot about how I love natural grass, right? I've talked about it a lot on this podcast. We actually get into it with Zack Lutmer a little bit. The thing about grass is you have to be so on point with your weight distribution. So when you cut, it's not as simple as I just stop running this way and then turn and go that way. When I'm on turf, I can get away with a little bit more of not having my weight in the right spot because the turf will catch my cleat and I can turn usually a little bit better, which is why a lot of people do like playing on turf because it catches your cleat better. You can cut, you're faster, all that stuff. But on grass, you have to get your weight down over top of your legs, really your knees, and be able to push out that way. So on the particular one with Caden Weegan, he's a little bit he's a little bit high before he gets into his cut. And when he cuts, he's already turning his body, but his center of gravity, meaning like his chest, which is the most, center of gravity would be normally your waist, but your chest is really important when it comes to breaking down because it has to get over your knees. BK used to always talk about you're banging the drum. Like your arms are pumping and your chest is on top of your knees. Because when that happens, it forces your weight forward. And then as you push underneath yourself, because at that point, your midsection is going to be over top of your heels if your chest is over your knees. Mm-hmm. I'm trying really hard to explain this really well.
I'm seeing it.
And then you can put your foot in the ground and then cut. But Caden Weegan is running out there and his foot is just a little bit outside his center of gravity. It's not much, but he's turning just a little bit. His right foot gets outside of his center of gravity, and therefore his weight is pushing down while he's trying to push across. Whereas if your weight is pushing down and your foot is underneath you, all that weight, Newton's law, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. If you're pushing down over top of where your weight is, there's an equal and opposite reaction that's going to come up. Well, your weight is all together, so you can push back and come back underneath. Whereas if your foot is out and your weight is pushing down, there's nothing really to come back up and push your weight where it's supposed to. You can only go down because there's not enough oomph coming back up. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So when he does that, he slips. The ball was thrown on time. Gronowski actually threw it to the outside because there was a linebacker there. I didn't think it was the wrong read. It was just a matter of being able to do that. And I think Joe Klatt talked about that the DBs were sitting on these routes and all that. The DB did open up his hips, right? Like Caden Weegan did get him to open up. And what I mean by that is if the DB is square, and if you watch press coverage or something like that, DB is square to the line of scrimmage. Well, opening up his hips means he's getting ready to run deep. So that means his hips are already flipped and he's getting ready to run. But as soon as he flips, and that's when Weegan falls, ball comes out, and right there it goes. Now, maybe the ball gets tipped, maybe the ball gets batted down, but it at least gives us an opportunity. So it's just one of those, it's a slight technique thing that you have to be better on grass than you do on turf in that instance.
Understood.
That was a lot.
That was a lot.
Sorry.
Whew. You did a really nice job of explaining it, though.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Other than that, run game looked pretty good. Offensive line was starting to push them around a little bit for those 2 drives. It's just tough to have a 10-minute drive not end in a touchdown. Like you're going to take that much time off the clock, especially in a game when points were very difficult to come by. I mean, only 29 points in the entire game. Like it's just really tough. It's good to control the clock like that and not come away with a touchdown there at the end to make it 13-13. On the reverse side, if we go to defense.
Can I say something really quick?
Sure.
I was just thinking, watching that game, I feel like this is kind of a shot to Iowa State, but I feel like that might have been the first Iowa State team we've played in like recent 5 to 10 years that I felt like this is a really good team.
Mm.
Do you feel that way? Because usually I feel like this game, like we could be really not having a great year, or they could be having not a great year or not a great team or whatever that looks like. And yet we're still going to play them tough, or they're still going to play us tough. You know, like it's just one of those games where like you're just going to rise to the occasion regardless of what the team looks like. And I feel like this time it was 2 good teams against each other.
I could see that.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure Iowa State had 10 wins a year ago. But this team does feel better than that team.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for validating that. Okay. Continue.
No, I'm like 90% sure they had 10 wins a year ago, because there was some stat that Rocco Becht has. He's like the first Iowa State quarterback to have multiple 10-win seasons, or the opportunity to have multiple 10-win seasons, something like that. I don't really care that much about Iowa State stats, so I don't have that as on forefront of the brain.
Yikes.
As for, don't give me that look, Matthew. As for like defensively, obviously we bowed up there for a long time after that first quarter. I think they went up and down the field in that first quarter, but it's that old Iowa bend, don't break, right? You get down into the red zone, right? So instead of 14 points, we give up 6. That is massive, especially, like I said, in a game where points are premium. And I think that's just the way in all Iowa games. I think points are always at a premium in Iowa games. It's just the way we play football. But one of the things that they did do well at, that there's some technique stuff that we can continue to get better at, is I mean, they were doing quarterback sweeps where they were bringing the cavalry. Like their backside guard or tackle or 2 tight ends and a running back would all lead for Rocco Becht. Well, the tough part about that is what they're trying to do is seal somebody in. And essentially what that means is the receiver's running his guy off. So that way they don't have to deal with the DB out there. But if our linebackers get caught behind this wave on the inside, then he has the entire outside kind of between the numbers and the sideline to go up the field, and nobody's going to stop him. Nobody set the edge. So setting the edge is essentially you fly upfield. You are not going to make the play, but you set the edge upfield, take on probably the biggest guy that's running at you, but you force the running back to run back inside to where all of your teammates are. If you get sealed, the only guy you have on the outside is the corner, who's probably running with the wide receiver, and your safety you has to fill from over the top. So when we had somewhere like we were so close to setting the edge, we just weren't outside just another 2 steps, and we forced Rocco to run inside, and we might make what could have been an 8-yard play into a 2-yard play, or a 15-yard play into a 3-yard play, because we force him back into where everybody is. So just little things like that. And again, first year playing between, Harrell and Shire, and they'll continue to do. I think Jackson Rexroth was in there a little bit too, trying to set the edge. Like little things like that are going to improve over time, especially with, again, I don't want to call them young because they're old guys, but young guys in terms of experience playing live shots on Saturday. And ultimately, this came down to their tight end making 2 big plays.
True.
A 6'7" tight end making 2 phenomenal. Like, you can't say that those are, we just gave it to him. Like, those were really difficult catches.
Yeah. And then unfortunately, their kicker kind of sealed the deal.
Their kicker's just as good as Drew Stevens.
Again, second year in a row kind of sealed the deal for him. So,
yeah, just one of those that, again, I do agree that it's 2 good football teams. I think our offense is going to continue to move forward, like I said, and I'm fully behind Mark. In our running attack, Jazz Patterson, I thought looked great.
Yeah, he did look really good.
When he came in, he was like a burst of energy. He looks a little different without the dreads. I think he looked a little, like his dreads would go flying because he's always trying to get the extra couple yards. But he's one of those guys that he's not the biggest guy, but he always falls forward.
Yeah. I could say that. I could see that.
I don't really know exactly how he's able to do it, but he just adds a little spark to the team.
Yeah. I could maybe like a little more pizzazz. Like he needs like some jazz in there. Jazz hands after he gets a good run,
I think we're going to cut that out.
It's just ideas.
They are
Branding.
that ideas.
Imagine he gets up, Jazz Patterson, jazz hands. That's
the only way this gets good is if the other 10 guys on the field all did jazz hands.
See, this is
KF, jazz hands.
Oh my goodness.
With his
now
notepad.
You've got an idea. Yeah. Okay.
The only other part that I'm going to talk about is special teams.
Okay.
Because overall, I think we played pretty well on special teams. But the one punt return where
we had an opportunity to return it. We had to fair catch quite a few of them. One opportunity to return it and we didn't catch it, which was tough. And then we went back 5 or 10 yards and got tackled at the 5. Now, we turned into a phenomenal drive on that because we came out with points. Mm-hmm. But you never want to start your drive at the 5-yard line. Mm-hmm. So just little things like that need to get ironed out. They can't happen in a game when you know it's going to be that close.
Sure. All right. Unsung hero. Let's hear it.
Unsung hero brought to you by JB Roofing. It's actually going to be a wide receiver and not just for blocking. I feel like typically I say it as blocking because you go in there and dig out a safety for, you just do it all over the place. But I'm going to go with Seth Anderson. On this particular play, we were a 3-by-1. It was the rollout. I don't remember if it was first down, second down, third down. The fact that we called a rollout in the end zone with Mark Gronowski is pretty good too. But we roll out and they basically ran, we called it a dagger concept, but it's almost the outside dagger. So essentially 3-by-1. And what I mean by that is 3 receivers to the left, 1 receiver to the right, the outside receiver to the left, and the middle receiver to the left both run deep routes. They're both just running as fast as they can, deep. Get the attention of those 2 DBs. You have to know you're getting man coverage if this play works. They turn, get their DBs, so you could say Sam Phillips, also the unsung hero. Jacob Gill runs an out route right behind him. But Seth Anderson is the guy that's right before him, meaning number 2, Jacob Gill is number 3. Seth Anderson runs, and he runs on the inside, so he kind of gets the safety's attention. So the safety who has Jacob Gill one-on-one has to run over top of Seth Anderson and the DB in order to get to Jacob Gill, which, I mean, he had 15 yards of real estate before anybody was there. And I know a thing or two about real estate. That's a big spot. So the fact that Seth Anderson took 2 guys with him and then Jacob Gill was able to get wide open, it's just a very simple thing, but do your job, get their attention, and it resulted in a big play for us that ended up leading to points at the end of that drive. So unsung hero is Seth Anderson, brought to you by JB Roofing.
Very good. Okay, we're going to stay on the defensive side of the ball. And we've got Zack Lutmer coming up for our interview this week. It's a really good interview. He's very funny. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Need a new roof, gutter, or siding in Eastern Iowa? Call JB Roofing, a local and reliable roofer with over 20 years of experience. They do one roof at a time, unlike others who may juggle multiple projects and cut corners. They also serve a 45-mile radius around Kelowna and can help you with any insurance claims. No wait, call 319-656-ROOF or visit their website, jbroofingkelowna.com for a free estimate. JB Roofing, the small town roofer you can trust. Hey Hawkeye fans, Big Grove is proud to be an official craft brewery of the Iowa Hawkeyes. Whether you're at the game or watching from home, Big Grove has got you covered. Enjoy an easy Eddie from the stands or visit them for every Hawkeye game at any of their 4 convenient Iowa locations, whether that be Iowa City, Cedar Rapids, Des Moines, or my favorite, Solon. Cold beer, an award-winning game day menu, and warm hospitality welcome you and fellow fans as we root for the Hawks. Big Grove Brewery, your official watch party headquarters of the Iowa Hawkeyes. Go Hawks.
Big Grove Brewery, an official craft brewery of the Iowa Hawkeyes. Enjoy responsibly.
The Appliance Barn, a grand appliance company, offers a wide range of high-quality appliances at unbeatable prices.
Whether you're in the market for a new refrigerator, dishwasher, or washing machine, they've got you covered. They also have a delivery and setup department to ensure your appliances get delivered and installed quickly. To find out more, visit appliancebarn.com. Iowa City Tire and Service offers the area's best automotive repair while offering top-notch customer service and a unique environment.
They have beer.
And that makes them unique?
No, but they have a really big dog.
Again, does that make them unique?
I mean, they have cookies for their customers.
Not unique.
They have great t-shirts.
Still waiting for it.
They have arcade games like Dig Dug that I may or may not have the current high score on. Still.
What?
Okay then, Iowa City Tire and Service has over 640 5-star Google reviews, and ChatGPT even says it's the #1 choice in the area.
You know, now that you mention it, those guys are pretty great.
Check them out at ictire.com or give them a call, 319-338-5401.
All right, Talkin Hawks fans, we've got another player from the defensive side of the ball. Everyone please welcome Zack Lutmer. How's it going?
I'm doing good.
Doing good?
Yeah.
It's a pretty big week.
Very big week, actually. Yeah, we lost to them last year, trying to get our revenge this week.
Ooh, revenge on their, I can't say turf, their grass.
Well, you can still call it turf.
I know, but it's a grass field. You like playing on grass?
They take a lot of pride in their grass field.
Their grass is really nice, though.
It is, yeah.
Like that's
what I've heard. So.
Oh yeah, because
I've never played there. My freshman year, I didn't travel for that game, so
that is the best grass I've ever played on.
There we go.
Like outside of Kinnick, Ames is my favorite place to play. Which mainly grass, but then everybody hates you, and it's really fun to go into that kind of
go in there and get a win
because you're not going to shut them up in 60 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Okay. Well, this is going to air technically after, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is going to air like 2 days after the game. So we won't be able to make any like, predictions or anything like that. But typically how we like to start the podcast is we like to just go all the way back and just start with like where you're from, your family, all those kind of things so that our fans can get a better idea of like who you are as a person as opposed to just like the guy out there on the field. So that being said, where are you from?
I'm from a small town in Rock Rapids, Iowa.
Okay.
So it's up in the northwest corner, kind of by like South Dakota, Minnesota, Nebraska.
Okay.
So I grew up very small town with, I would say, a very community like feel. Everyone knows everyone. Everyone's super friendly.
When you say small town, like how many did you graduate with?
I graduated with 60. So
okay, yeah, that's small.
Yeah, small town. Yeah, 60 boys and girls. So
okay.
Yeah, that's small.
Yeah.
What sports did you play when you were younger? What did that look like for you?
So I, as a young kid, I wrestled and did basketball. But once I got to like 5th or 6th grade, I did basketball. And then I did like football, baseball, and track. So I did all 4 sports in high school, which you kind of got to when you grow up in a small town because you need athletes in every single sport. So, but no, I think that helped me when I transitioned to Iowa, just focusing on one sport. You just really are able to like grow yourself in the sport that you play. And
so you said you did wrestling when you were younger?
Yeah.
When did you start?
I did it like in 1st grade for like 2 years, maybe.
Okay.
But yeah, my friends would say I'm not a wrestler, which very true. I'm not a wrestler.
I'd argue
That's fair.
I don't mean this negatively, but you run a little too athletic for a wrestler.
Yes.
I feel like all wrestlers run the same.
I would agree. So my wrestling friends, if they're listening, more athletic people play basketball.
Oh, okay.
Well, I wouldn't throw a shot like that.
Zach said it. We did not.
Zach said it.
So then you said you played basketball as well.
Yeah.
Like, what was your position? What was your
I was a
specialty?
point guard for my whole life, basically.
Oh.
Yeah.
I would argue you're probably the best athlete on the court.
Yes.
So you're probably not a facilitator. You're the one still getting buckets, even though you're running the point.
Kind of both. So Reese Vandersey, actually, we played together. So,
on the same team?
Yeah.
Dang.
So in that small of a town, we had 3 guys averaging 20 points a game. One guy's playing Division I at Indiana State, I think.
Oh, so
or Eastern Illinois. So we had all guys that could score. So
did you mop up?
yeah. Yeah, we ended up winning.
So you win state how many years?
1 year. We lost to Landon Van Kickerix's team my junior year in basketball.
Okay.
So he gave me a little crap when I got here.
Well, okay. So the topic of basketball seems to always come up because it seems like a lot of guys play basketball. But every guy that comes on here and people that listen to the podcast weekly are like, okay, we get this, but you don't know this part. Every guy that comes on here says that they're like the best basketball player on the team.
I think if you ask pretty much everyone, most people would say me.
Best on the whole
Best
team.
on the whole football team.
I hate to break this to you, Zach, but we have asked multiple guys, give us your starting 5, and we have never heard your name.
Which is
I don't
crazy.
think that's true.
I think if you ask any of the coaches too, they would say me too. So
Okay.
some guys just think
wild.
too highly maybe of themselves.
Fair. We did. I can't remember who it was.
I think Addison said that you might be in the top 5.
He might go with an all tight end 5.
he might.
The tight ends all are pretty good at basketball, I think.
This feels like a very defensive side of the ball mindset. just like the aura that's coming off is very like.
Yeah, the DB room, I would say there's probably like 4 or 5 guys that would say they're the best on the team. So
Okay,
Fair.
so who's your top 5 then? If you had to
Top
give 4
5.
places to other people, what would they be?
okay, I would go myself at the point guard. Reese at the wing, one of the wings. Reese
So are you
Vandersey.
like much better than Reese?
No, he's
Okay.
Yeah, he's a pretty good player.
But they've played together before because you were on the same
right.
team.
So I would have to, give him
There's some
We got
chemistry
some
there.
chemistry there.
Okay. So we got Reese.
I go with him for my 4 and 5. For some chemistry, I'm gonna put Cade Peeper in there at 5.
Okay.
Cade Peeper.
Why you say based on chemistry?
We've played a little basketball, pickup basketball.
Okay, so you've been at the rec.
Yeah, we've been at the rec a time or two.
Okay.
He can get up. He's pretty athletic. I think he's got a 36-inch vert. So
36.
yeah,
You're
I
kidding.
think he's got the record for O-line
My goodness. Is that off the
Wow.
jump mat or a Vertimax?
jump mat.
All right. So I
It's-
mean, you got to take off 2 inches.
But yeah,
maybe?
but if
that's
you
off
see
the
him, like, he'll standing dunk, which is crazy. He's only 6'3", so 6'4".
That's incredible.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I got to put him at the 5.
But
He's a big body. He'll set some screens.
6'3" at the 5 is a little short, but
He's gonna
I mean, your
he's
wing is
gonna give
taller
him.
than he is.
Yeah, that's true. For my 2, I have to go with
He's a spot up shooter.
spot up shooter.
I mean, that's the point of the 2, right?
True. Need someone who just won't try to score the ball, because we got enough scores, so we need someone just to
I need
Be a-
someone to just be out
be
there.
a defender and like shooter, like a 3-and-D player, which Reese is a very good 3-and-D player, so he fits that mold. But
Like a Gabby
for
Marshall.
2, I'm gonna go with
Gabby Marshall.
Caden Weegan.
Oh.
Okay.
Go with Caden Weegan.
I wasn't expecting
I wouldn't
that.
say he's
Okay.
necessarily a good shooter, but he's a very good passer.
He'll get it to
Obviously
the guys
super
that need
athletic.
it.
Like, you can throw him some lobs too, even in he's a 5'5". But
Okay. Oh my goodness.
All
Clip
right.
it. There's so many good clips
so
coming out of
that's
this.
4. That's 4.
So you need the 4 because you had Kate at the 5, right?
Yeah.
You put Kate at the 5.
Let's go with
Addison's going to be hurt if he's at the 4.
I've never seen Addison play, so it's an issue.
From what I hear, he was a dog.
I think you'd rather him on your baseball team. If we're
Yeah,
not
he's
gonna
also
make
a
it
dog.
if
baseball
Luke
lineup.
was here, I'd definitely pick Luke.
Okay.
Luke, but
makes
he's
sense.
not here
No,
anymore, so I
he's off the
can't
board.
pick him.
Mm-hmm. A lot of thought going into this. This is the most thought I think anyone's
No,
ever
this
put
is-
into
I'd
it.
also like to point out he picked 3 other offensive players.
Wow, good for you.
Team
chemistry.
We need a defensive player.
you don't have to. It's just apparently they're all trash.
We need some defense. Trying to think who's like a tall guy on defense that played basketball. Derek Weiskopf. There you go.
Hmm.
He was a good player at Williamsburg.
Yeah, and he's athletic. Take that. I think he won high jump. So
So you're going to put him at the 4.
put him at the 4. So we are
You're
like
small.
3 and 4 like as tall as our 5.
Hmm.
So-
yeah.
But our,
So you
our
don't have a lot
5
of
our
height.
5 is like a big body setting some
He's like a
screens.
Zach Randolph.
Yeah.
Big guy,
we need.
bully
We
his
can
way,
go-
but
yeah.
he can. Okay. That actually sounds like a scary 5.
I
Yeah,
think so.
that's great. Good job.
We need at least everyone who can dunk. So
True. You feel
Now
like there's why? Why do you feel like everyone needs to dunk?
I mean, nowadays that's all people want to watch.
You gotta get the highlight reel.
Oh,
Yeah,
so not only are we going for like we're going to win games, but we're also going to be like
we
the
gotta
wow
get the
factor.
fans.
The
We gotta get the fans into it.
That's a basketball mindset.
No, this is important.
You gotta get the fans into it.
Talk to Coach McCollum. See if we can get a top 5 football, top 5 basketball team.
That would be so fun. That
I
sounds
need
like
Make
to
it a
get over
charity
there
event.
sometime for practice. I saw Coop was over there.
we
I need to
should.
show some of them up, maybe.
That would be so fun. That would be so
That'd be a
fun
really
if
good
we
show.
had
It would be a good crossover. It'd be good for the fans to see.
just a little scrimmage.
Like off season.
Yes.
Nothing too crazy. We don't need to get too competitive. Just a little fun scrimmage.
Yeah.
Just throwing dunks down. Like
Coach
a-
McCollum was out there playing with EKF.
He looked good.
Yeah.
So,
He did.
pretty
This is true.
athletic.
I don't care if still works out.
I don't know how old he is. Upper 30s maybe. Is that what he is?
McCollum?
Yeah, or low 40s.
Well, he's got a kid in college.
Low 40s. Mid 40s.
You're asking so many questions.
I was going to say,
don't know.
I actually don't know.
I don't want to say his
but he
age.
looked athletic out there.
He did.
I'll
Yeah.
say that.
You're right.
He can still move.
Yeah, you're exactly right. You know what? You just gave us a really good idea. We'll see what we can do.
We had talked, so this episode hasn't dropped yet. But we talked to Coach McCollum, and I'm going to tease it a little bit. We talked to him about, fan engagement, and that he should be out there at half court during halftime. He's not saying anything anyway, being the head coach. His assistants are all talking.
Yeah.
You could come down, play him one-on-one at halftime.
It's a good idea.
And I think that would
get the fans.
I think that would get the fans going.
We did bring that idea up, and he's like, well, do I have to wear my dress shoes?
So he was serious.
He was serious. He's like, well, let me think about this.
Put the sneakers on.
Yeah.
I told him he's going to need it.
Yeah.
Like, he's blowing out a dress shoe for sure because he's too competitive.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
This is true. Okay. Well, tell me more about you and Reese playing together. Like, was it like a travel team, or what is that?
We never played any travel together.
Okay.
But he did play my high school, we would travel at a young age. So that's why I think like we had such good athletes at that small of a school. We were always playing together.
Gotcha. So Reese went to your or your high school too?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So I actually threw to him in football. I was a quarterback. I threw to him in football, which was kind of sweet. Yeah.
That's cool.
So when he had his breakout game last year, I kind of like, if it's a 50-50 ball, I know he's going to go get it.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of have that trust in him. So yeah, playing with him at a super young age in basketball, he was always just like a competitive guy and very good shooter at a young age, very good shooter. And then he like grew 5 or 6 inches from his maybe 7th grade to like freshman year or something.
Wow.
So, and then it took him a little bit to grow into his body, and then he just like shot up and jumping out the gym. And you guys got to watch his highlight tape. He's got some.
I've heard it's crazy.
He's got some dunks that are the whole hoop is shaking. It's crazy.
I'd like to point out that it's such a small school that he can pinpoint the year that Reese VandeBergs had a growth spurt.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way anybody else knows that.
That's so great. That's
Incredible.
really cool that you were throwing the ball to him, though.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
So you were QB, had the most pass yards in school history, right? Or
I don't know if I had the
yards?
most pass. I had the most like total yards.
Total yards.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then you get here, and obviously you were DB in high school too. So what was that conversation like when you were talking to KF? And maybe we'll kind of transition into recruiting a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
When it was going to be offense or defense.
Yeah,
Or
I think
was it strictly defense?
I think it was strictly defense from the start. Coach Woods was like the Northwest Iowa recruiter, so he was recruiting me, and I think it was always mainly defense, safety. They really didn't know which spot I'd play like when I got here, but mainly like in the back end somewhere. It's kind of always the plan, and then he gave me the offer, and I committed the next day. It was done.
Well, I was going to say, let's talk about the recruiting process then. So Rock Rapids. I can't imagine it's heavily recruited outside of Iowa. So Coach Woods also recruited me in South Dakota. So like there's a small town feel that they definitely have a knack for finding good athletes. So talk me through, like, were you recruited by anybody else? Did you go to camps? What did all that look like?
Yeah, so I wasn't able to go to any camps because I was injured my junior and sophomore year. So I wasn't able to go to any of like the summer camps that a lot of people go to. But I think my first offer was the University of South Dakota.
Okay.
Yeah, they gave me an offer. Miles,
for DB as well?
Miles Taylor was.
Oh,
was
he actually called you?
Yeah, he was calling me and talking on the phone. my parents' brothers couldn't believe some of the things he was telling me.
That does not surprise me. So
No.
he's my class.
Yeah, he's a great dude though. He's
a
fun.
very
He's fun to
genuine
be
person.
around. Yeah, he's fun to be around. And then South Dakota State, they came to my basketball practice like a few days later, and then offered me in the middle of practice. Actually, they came, pulled me out of practice and offered me, which was pretty cool. And then it kind of really just picked up from there. Iowa, I think they also offered me during the basketball season, or maybe right after. And then like right as they offered me, Iowa State called, Minnesota called.
My goodness.
But then I was just like too late. Like I just wanted to be done with it.
Were you a Hawk from the jump?
I actually was a Minnesota fan growing up.
Wait, why?
It's actually closer, and my dad grew up in Minnesota. So I was a Minnesota fan. Not proud to say that now.
Right.
Well, that's why it's been crickets since you said it, but
Yeah.
you know, keep going.
Yeah, no,
I thought I liked this guy.
No, I definitely don't. like being a Minnesota fan growing up. But now looking back, it was definitely made the right decision to come here.
Had they offered first, do you think you would have thought of like why was it so quick?
Just because I had like trust in them. Like Coach Woods was from Northwest Iowa.
Mhm.
They were talking to me like the whole time, built like the relationship with me. The coaches have been here for super long time. Some of them played here, came back. So obviously it's a place that a lot of people would like to be. And obviously like if another school would have offered and they hadn't been talking to me, it would have took a while to build the relationship, but Iowa built the relationship and then offered. So it's kind of just a no-brainer from there.
That's an interesting way to put it, to like build a relationship and then offer.
Yeah. Huh. I think they like to know like the guys that they're recruiting. So I think they're like, Iowa's one of the like least offered schools, I think, in the country. Like,
They take their time.
Yeah. Like all the SEC schools, they offer like maybe 300-400. Iowa's maybe like 50 to 60, somewhere in there.
Wow.
I think I saw that stat somewhere.
That's crazy.
Yeah. They usually try to get the right kid.
I think I remember when I was getting recruited that like if they had like Nebraska, for instance, if there were 25 scholarships that they could give out for that year to offer, I think they would normally offer 35 to 40 because they know they weren't getting any. And I think Iowa was like 28. It's like if you get an offer from Iowa, like they think you're the guy.
Yeah.
But that's it. But they also do a ton of homework.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did your
For
parents
sure.
feel about you choosing Iowa?
My mom was like an Iowa fan.
Okay.
So she was pretty happy. And my dad, it didn't take him long to switch at all. He was right on board right away. So yeah, they were super happy that I chose Iowa.
Good.
And I'm here now.
I forgot to ask, do you have any siblings?
I do. So my brother, I have an older brother and older sister. They're both twins.
No way.
Yeah, they're twins. I think they're 29. Yeah, they just had their birthday. So yeah, they're a
That's
little
weird to say. They just had their birthday.
Yeah. They're a little bit older than me. My brother, he lives in Sioux City now. He's a cop. And then my sister is like a nurse. So yeah.
A cop, a nurse, and a football player. That sounds like you did parenting right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got a D1 athlete, a cop, and a nurse.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Those are your only siblings.
Yep.
So they're what, 10 years
Success.
older? 8. So I'll be 21 this year in November.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yep.
Very good. So they had twins. So you must have been like the easy one then.
Yeah, I was like the little baby of the family.
Oh.
Yeah, they were. I was pretty catered to, I'd say.
It worked out.
Yeah.
Spoiled, worked out.
Yeah, my brother would say I was a little spoiled. He didn't get to do all the travel stuff, and then I did, so he was a little mad. But
Sorry, double trouble.
yeah,
It's twins.
Jeez.
Do they try to make it to a lot of your games?
yeah. My brother, he's coming this week. He came last week. I think he has season tickets, so he pretty much comes every week. And then my sister will come maybe 2 or 3 times.
That's so
yeah,
sweet.
so they're super supportive.
Yeah, that's awesome. So then when you were in high school, remind me, you played all 4 sports?
Correct, yeah.
Do you feel like that is like super important for kids to be dynamic and to play different sports as opposed to like specializing super early?
Yeah, I think it's actually super important just because like when you play basketball, baseball, you learn like things that you normally wouldn't learn in football, maybe like hand-eye coordination, like in baseball is super important. And like you can kind of tell with some of the guys like that didn't maybe play baseball or didn't play any other sports, like their hand-eye coordination is just not the same, maybe. And then like basketball, like the movements, like shuffling and all that sort of stuff. And then when you get to college, you like can grow that much more because you haven't been specializing. The room for growth is just super high, I think.
So your ceiling just already starts higher.
I think so, yeah. Just because you had like I didn't work on any footwork in high school or anything. I got here was
just
not
being an athlete.
Yeah, was not good at any footwork or anything. But you can just improve every single day. And then I feel like your ceiling is a little higher.
I think a lot of people talk about the physical stuff like you did. Addison also brought up a really good point of like the mental side of like baseball, for instance. We talked about baseball for a long time. If you haven't checked out our episode with Addison Ostraga, go check it out. But he talks about how like in baseball, you have to get used to failure. And like if you strike out, you just got to sit on the bench.
Yeah.
And just wait. Like you just have to sit in your failure. Whereas like football, like if you miss a tackle or they run an in-breaking route and you've got outside leverage, there's only so much you can do. And then you're out there again because you're on the next play. You take a breath and 30 seconds later, you're doing it again. So I think the mental side of it, I thought was a really good piece because we do hear a lot of the physical aspects of like, maybe you understand your body awareness better, even just how to cut better because you've had to do it just out of habit for so many different sports, whether it's catching a rebound and going up court, stuff like that translates, but the mentality I think also translates.
And I think like going back to the mentality part, I think like getting to college, you're super, super busy with football and then you got to go to class, especially in the fall. Like you have meetings at night, in the morning, playing all those sports, you're busy all year round. So it kind of helps out when you get here too.
Like you're used to that workload almost.
Yeah. Like I had like one of my other roommates, Nolan DeLong, he played 6 sports in high school, like his senior year. So he did track and golf.
At the same time?
Yeah. And then basketball and wrestling, football and baseball. So he was.
Did you have a class of 4?
Yeah. They needed him.
I think he had a class like a 40 or 50. Yeah. So he did baseball in the summer and would come to like workouts, wake up at like 4 and come to 6 a.m. workouts and then leave in the afternoon, go play a baseball game.
My goodness.
Get back at home at 12 and then wake up at 4 and do it again. So he was getting ready for the mental aspect of college.
That's a grind.
Wow. That's incredible. You said you played baseball?
I did play. I didn't play my senior year, but.
Okay. What position?
I was shortstop and then third base.
I saw shortstop coming.
Yeah.
You have a good arm. Being third base, I feel like you have to have a good arm. Well, you play quarterback, so that makes sense. And it has to be really, like, you have to have precision to like get it to first.
Shortstop is usually the most athletic guy on the field.
Well, I know that.
Then when I was hurt, Reese started playing shorts, and I just slid into third. Yeah, he has an arm. He throws like he threw upper 80s, low.
Dang.
If he would have kept going, probably 90s. But he's a good baseball player.
So
he seems like a very quiet guy.
Super quiet.
Okay.
Yeah, very reserved, I would say.
He doesn't have any social media. Is true?
He does have social media, but he's not on it much. Doesn't post too much.
That makes sense.
So he wouldn't talk about the top 5 basketball players the way you did.
I would say he put himself in the top 5, but
it may be in his head.
Yeah.
Say it out loud. That's fair.
Like, well, it's me. But.
Yeah. That makes sense. When you got to Iowa, did you feel like that was a hard transition just coming from like a smaller town and then coming to like a bigger campus with a lot more people?
Yeah, the fall was definitely crazy. It was nice being here in the summer because there's not a lot of people. So the summer wasn't too bad, but then you get to fall and it's like chaos downtown because you're trying to find all your classes and stuff. So that was definitely like a challenge for the first few weeks for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of support staff that can help. So that was nice.
So this is your 3rd year on campus or 2nd year?
Correct. Yeah, third year.
So can you kind of talk through about being a younger player? I know Coach Parker's system, like everybody knows what they do. They take the exact steps. Like everybody talks about how fundamentally sound the defense is. Keep everything in front of you, tackle what's there, right? But you would have had Jack Campbell, or did you not have Jack Campbell?
I didn't have.
So you had Jay Higgins.
Yep.
So what was it like looking to him of like, and obviously he's not your position group, but between him and his leadership to like push you forward? Because you played, did you play as a true freshman a little bit?
I didn't play much. I played the last like game for special teams.
I was gonna say, I thought I saw you out there just for a little bit, but like how was learning that system? And you don't have to get into the weeds, but how was learning that system and then also having a leader like Jay Higgins on that side of the field?
Yeah, learning the system is definitely challenging. I started trying to learn it the day I got here.
Mm-hmm.
I still haven't mastered it. I don't think anybody masters it,
right.
But it's definitely a challenge. And then just having like someone like Jay is just like knows the system in and out, and his leadership is just trying to push everyone forward. He was a great leader. One of the best leaders I've seen. Just not even like sometimes speaking like as a leader, just like his actions and just following him. Like everybody gravitated towards Jay, and obviously was a great player, but it all started with his leadership Definitely.
It's interesting to see like the difference is the word I'm going to use, although I probably could have a different one. So you come in, you play young because you got a decent amount of playing time last year.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Jay had to sit behind a first round draft pick for 4 years before he gets his shot. And then you're getting one as a young buck and being able to see what sitting can do, but also being able to play on the same field as him. It's just interesting how many different stories can happen just based on the need of a position too. Because you kind of said you were an athlete, so that could be strong, free, or cash.
Yeah.
Right. And now you kind of settled into that cash position.
Mm-hmm.
But I know on the depth chart, you're also listed under, I think, free safety or strong. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But like being able to know the system means you also have to know all those positions. So I think it just kind of going through of like somebody who's mastered it because he hasn't had a chance to go out there and do it. He just has to learn. And now you get to learn by fire, kind of the Cooper DeJean way. Quarterback, DB in high school, goes to Iowa, DB, not saying you're Cooper, like let's pump the brakes here. But but to like have that opportunity to be that kind of guy, I think is not something to shy away from.
Right. Yeah. It is crazy, like seeing some of the stories, like now you're seeing Carson Shire and Jaden Harrell both having to sit, didn't leave, decided to stay here and stick it out, and now they're getting their shot.
Right.
And they know the system in and out because they've been behind Jay Higg and Nick Jackson for the last few years. And they know that they were going to get their opportunity eventually, and now they're going to start showing it. But then like you got, when opportunity presents itself, like last year I was able to get in a few times in some dime personnel, we called it. So I'd come in and just pretty much play man and stuff like that. So when the opportunity like presents itself, you got to be ready. And Jay Higg kind of showed that, like the opportunity presented itself maybe 4 years later, and he came in and played an All-American level right away. So that was kind of cool.
In a world that doesn't really reward patience, it's nice to know that Iowa still does.
And especially like with the transfer portal now, like some of the guys staying here, which I think just goes to show you like the coaches that are able to keep those players here, that's kind of cool.
Well, when you said that you were from a small town that felt like it was a true community, like that's the same thing I felt at Iowa. Now, granted, Iowa was my only offer, like this was it or nothing. Yeah. So it's not like I could pick and choose, but like the family type atmosphere is what brought me here. Just knowing that like everybody like had been there for multiple years at a time, okay, I've been here since 98. Like you just don't see that anywhere.
No.
And now he's got an opportunity. Hopefully by the time this comes out, he's the all-time winningest Big Ten head coach. But to think of that kind of tenure, and then on your side of the ball, Coach Parker been there the whole time, right? Coach Wall has been there for a long time. I think he came on staff when I was there. It's just cool to see the tenure also brings up young bucks, I guess is kind of where I'm getting at.
Yeah, I feel like too, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, offense too, but when you're thinking about not only like the transfer portal, but also like NIL and how that, like everybody was really concerned about, specifically with Iowa, like when all of that stuff kind of got implemented now, like revenue share, all that kind of stuff that like, I think Hawkeye fans loved like the bluegrass, like grassroots, like, we get the guys that are 2 stars from, smaller towns and whatever. Like if that was going to kind of like affect the culture or like kind of change the way that like things were done or who the players would be or how they'd represent themselves. But from my perspective, I really don't think it's had that effect on Iowa just because it is such a storied program. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would definitely agree. I don't think we had anyone leave for money or any reason like that. And I think the coaches just did a great job of saying like, if you play well, you're going to get rewarded and things like that. So it's basically just like a production over potential type thing, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. On like a personal level, outside of football, what are things that you like to do?
Things that I like to do. I love playing video games, love hanging out with my friends, my girlfriend. I love hanging out with my family when they're in town. Go to church on Sundays, Veritas Church in Tiffin.
Okay.
Yeah, just super cool. And then they have Salt on Thursdays, they call it.
Nice.
It's for like college
Student
kids.
athlete.
Yeah, college kids. Just like big church service geared towards kids our age. So
nice.
Has faith kind of been a thing through your whole life, or is that something you kind of found at Iowa?
Yeah, I grew up like as a Catholic growing up.
Was it a Catholic school?
It wasn't a Catholic school.
Okay.
Yeah. So I grew up a Catholic and went to church like pretty much every Sunday. And then I got here and basically just like, started doing Bible study and things like that, and just trying to have more of a faith.
Yeah. How do you feel like that's like affected your game?
Yeah, I feel like just like putting all my trust in God and not having to worry about anything and just casting all my anxieties on Him, because there's a lot of anxiety that comes. But just having that faith just definitely helps.
We were talking too, like very recently, about how kind of like culture and just like general society, sports, I guess too. It's like a lot of focus on like the self, right? Like on you and like how I feel and do I love myself? Like all these types of things. But I feel like that's got to be helpful, especially in sports, when you are focused on so much of your the way you're performing.
You're watching tape. It's how you're lifting
tape.
weights. It's your body weight. It's all those things.
You're so focused on yourself to be able to like take that and focus on something greater than you. Do you feel like that's kind of helped you too on like kind of like maybe the identity piece in your life too?
Yeah, I feel like, I just wouldn't identify myself as a football player. I'd identify myself as like a child of Christ. So, and just like, we play in front of 70,000 people, but it's really just like an audience of one, and I'm focused on what I got to focus on. And, just, I think that's all that needs to be said about that. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like there's so many things that you can do with like your platform as a Division I athlete. There's so many kids that like look up to you and look to you for like, how do I become that? Right. How do I become a college football player? Be cool like that. Right. All those types of things. And to be able to like put that message out there, I feel like is super helpful, for kids that are, like I said, looking up to you.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And it's good encouragement for old geezers like myself. Because like I didn't do any of that. Like I had a base faith, but I didn't really get it until after I was done playing. But to have that identity piece prior to is like, I probably would have enjoyed the experience a lot more than I did. So it's good to see that guys are like a part of that. And I think I see Reese always does the crosses on his eye black. Like it's cool to see kind of how to shift where more and more guys are kind of more open about it.
Yeah, I think it definitely helps. I think the locker room, there's definitely a lot more guys that have started talking about it, which is super cool. And then, I think it can help the team just be like, not have so much worry and so much doubt, and just having a trust that's bigger than yourself.
Yeah. Almost like a culture shift within like your guys' culture you already have. That's really, really cool. Awesome. Was there anything else you want to talk about?
Anything you want to plug?
Yeah. You have some like
other
merch.
than your basketball.
Everybody's got merch these days. You got any merch?
I do have some merch.
I knew it.
Yeah, no. Let's plug my basketball though.
Yeah.
My basketball tape. My tape's not that good.
Okay, so is it like, all right, every Tuesday I'm at the rec?
Yeah. People show
Off
up.
season I get in the rec a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe on the weekends or something like that. But
no, I think we're onto something though with this like scrimmage with some football players, scrimmage with basketball players.
The problem is they definitely got us on height.
Build the fan interest.
They don't have too many 6'7" guys.
I don't know. They might have the
They got a
physicality.
7-footer too.
This is true.
Freshman.
And you got Cade.
You got Cade
going up against him.
Good choice.
Yeah.
We might have to rethink
My
that
high
one.
school coach would just say, stand straight up, don't jump.
Right.
They might score over top of you this time, but
Okay, so wait, last question. If you have to pick a coach for your team, but it's a coach, it's
a player
it's
to
a
coach.
player that's
Player
going to
to
be
coach.
coaching your team.
A player to coach the team.
Yes.
Got it.
Who would you pick?
player to coach.
I guess you
I
got
think we need some energy for this one. We
I
gotta,
like how we
gotta
thought
have
about
like
it.
a hype man.
Well, it's
like,
like, okay, are you going to get them ready to go or are you going to think about strategy?
Yeah, I don't know about all too much strategy.
This is a fan experience, remember?
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Like, we're
So we
winning,
gotta- I think Deshaun Lee would be perfect for that mold.
but okay.
He loves scoring the ball. He doesn't focus too much on defense, but that's why I
his
couldn't pick him.
position.
That's why I couldn't pick him in basketball. Like, he
He's
doesn't.
literally a defender.
He loves scoring the ball. He is a great scorer though. In basketball, I will say that. But I didn't pick
You
him.
didn't even put him on your top 5.
Yeah, mainly because he doesn't pass the ball to me. So
Okay.
no, but he would be a great mold coach for that.
I love that.
Okay, well now I'm gonna go one more. What coach would you take as a player? 6 man.
Oh, yeah.
6-man.
He doesn't have to start, but
Yeah.
you need some.
Need
a
some
breather.
energy off the bench.
I'm surprised.
Terrence Smith, freshman, just came in, wide receiver.
No. Coach.
I have a coach.
So like if Coach Woods was going to play or if KF was going to play.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah.
But they have to
But
play.
okay, shout out Terrence Woods. You're the 6th man, but that's not the question.
Now he's got some jumps. He did a between the legs in game,
Jeez.
which is crazy.
Yes. In high school.
Yeah, in high school. Coach. It's got to be a younger guy then. So
I was gonna say realistically, you've got what? Coach Woods, KB.
He
He might come in to help with the 5.
He can be like Peep out there setting some screens.
Probably not taking Coach Wallace.
Coach Hodge.
Coach
potentially.
Hodge.
Mhm.
I feel like it would be the definition of a football player playing basketball.
Yes.
Coach Hodge.
Yeah.
Middle
Yes.
linebacker mentality, just taking everybody out.
It would have to be, I think, Coach Hodge.
Okay.
Maybe Coach Woods, but
I'm partial to Coach Woods, but I also didn't play for Coach Hodge, so I don't know.
yeah. I'm thinking Coach Hodge. I think
Coach
like
Hodge,
he
is
might
6th
be
man.
Coach Woods wouldn't like to say it, but I think Coach Hodge might be a little more athletic right now.
Okay.
That's fair. I think Coach Hodge. Is
I think Coach Woods played basketball in high school, but I don't know.
He did
think,
everything.
I think he'll tell you that he wasn't the best at basketball.
He's humble about it.
Yeah.
Actually, if you haven't checked that out, we've also talked to Coach Woods. Go check it out.
There we go.
Nice. You gave us some like brutal honesty. Appreciate it. That was
Like
good
that.
stuff. Well, thanks for taking the time out of your day to come in.
Yeah, no problem.
This was so much fun. Well, we wish you the best of luck this weekend. And like I said, this is going to air 2 days after the Iowa State game.
Mhm.
So enjoy the grass and
Yes.
It's good. It's good.
tear it up a little bit, though. Just leave some ruts out there for us.
I will.
Thanks. All right. Thanks, Zach. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Well, hey, Talkin Hawks fans, we are so excited about our newest sponsor of the podcast, and that is Stack Wellness Cafe. Okay. Are you done interrupting?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Go.
Stack Wellness Cafe is fast, healthy food that you can grab on the go. It is protein shakes, bowls, and all kinds of other things to help you hit your protein goals for the day. Everything is made better.
I mean, I bought it. I go there. I'm going to drink it.
Well, truthfully, Matt goes there like every other day. I'm pretty sure you come home with a Stack protein shake almost every single day.
If you knew about it, you'd do it too.
All of their food is cooked locally and fresh and is delivered to each location for maximum quality and flavor. Okay. It's delicious, wouldn't you say, Matt?
I love Estella's because it's fresh. From fresh grilled steak to the salsas to the fresh pressed tortillas. I love Estella's because it's made there right in front of you and it's quick and it doesn't feel like fast food. It's fresh food made quickly.
We both love Estella's because it's made with love. They put a lot of pride in their food and customer service, and they're locally owned. Fresh food, made quick, and with love. Check out Estella's today.
Nothing brings fans together on game day like great pizza and good company. At Marquee Pizzeria in the Iowa River Landing, we fire up fresh wood-fired pies, served ice-cold drinks, and create the perfect spot for fans of all ages. Whether you're out with friends or making it a family night, Marquee Pizzeria is the place to celebrate before or after the game. Grandma's Hands is my favorite. Find us in Coralville at the Iowa River Landing District. Go Hawks.
Okay, Matt, this week, UMass. And there's a few different University of Massachusetts colleges, universities in Massachusetts. Hello. And so I had a really hard time figuring out which one was which.
Ooh.
But we figured it out. It's the one in Amherst.
Okay.
So let me take you through a little lore brought to you by Big Grove. We already have a thing that goes.
Right. Sorry. I totally forgot.
Yeah, go ahead and roll that. So on their campus, Matt, they have the world's tallest academic library.
Tallest.
Yes, isn't that amazing? 28 stories tall. It's the W.E.B. Du Bois Library.
Bunch of nerds. No, just kidding.
No, actually, it is a school that's for like academically gifted people.
Well.
Yes, and it's been that way for like a really long time.
Okay.
So yes, you're exactly right. And if you have the world's tallest library, you better have a bunch of smart people that are going to be going on the elevators. They do have elevators inside, which you would hope. But I was like, gosh, it's such an old library. Like, I wonder if they have elevators. So I looked it up. There's actually people that do elevator tours on YouTube. This is what I was laughing about in the car. And you're like, what are you laughing about? And I was like, I'll tell you on the podcast. Just dying because there's this guy that just takes you to different places and gives you elevator tours and where they take you in different buildings. And so he did that one.
And what did you find out?
Nothing. I didn't really watch it. It was just funny to me that existed. Like there's a YouTube video and
Probably
YouTube
for everything.
page for everything. Okay. So what I really want to get into, there's just one little snippet that is like very interesting to me. I'm sure there's a lot of different lore on this campus because it's a really old campus. But the Butterfield dorm, okay?
Butterfield. I already like it.
Yep. And this is from the dailycollegian.com. Okay. Just want to put that out there.
You know it's not collagen. Because that's something completely different.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Okay.
Thank you for...
Did not go to UMass.
No. Did not get an offer. Not even one. Okay. From UMass, I mean.
From UMass. Thank you. I was like, I got one.
I know. That did sound bad. I meant from UMass. All right. Back in the 1970s, it's the smallest dorm on campus, is still the smallest. Okay. But back then was the smallest as well. And it was kind of different from the other dorms because it has its own kitchen and meal plan. So you didn't have to go elsewhere to like have your meals. Okay. So all of the people that were living in this really small dorm, they became, really close, like family, because you eat your meals together, you talk, you have conversation, everybody gets really close. Well, again, this was back in the 70s. There was a lot of hippies around. So it wasn't uncommon to be walking through Butterfield dorm and see like naked people smoking pot. And it was just like,
this is a family podcast. We had Brock on the show.
I'm sorry. He's not here today. Just put a little E next to this episode. But basically how they were described as kind of like semi-violent hippies. Okay?
Semi-violent.
This is what this article says. But apparently there's kind of like this old thought, and that you can't like pin it down. Like it wasn't ever, no one was arrested, but it's been said that the dorm made more money than all of the other student businesses combined. And they said that it was a front for like selling drugs through Butterfield. So kind of interesting. So then, since they were like their own kind of thing, well, then they started to be like, you know what? Like Butterfield's really special. Like we really are like our own situation. We really don't need anybody else. So they started like their own kind of like leadership board. And then they took a flag. I'm going to like really summarize this. They took a flag and they went up to the top of the building, and it was like a pirate flag, and put it up on top of there. And then somebody from the university was like, this is not okay. We're going to crack down on this. So they took a cherry picker, like a thing, like you know what I'm saying? A cherry picker.
No, please tell me.
Keep
like going. It's
a vehicle.
Good.
It's like a vehicle, a cherry picker.
It's a vehicle.
I think so.
Okay.
Anyway, then they took it over. I'm really doing a good job. They took it over to the building, to Butterfield.
To pick cherries at the Butterfield?
To take the flag off of the top. They said, never again. Took it off. Well, then the guy, the like leader of the dorm was like, hey, that's our flag, and got really mad. Took another flag, put it up on the top. And this is where it really gets good. Then they said, you know what, guys?
It hasn't been good up till this point.
No, this is where it really gets good. So then they said, you know what, guys? We don't need UMass at all. And they wanted to be annexed, not only from UMass, but from the state of Massachusetts and the United States of America. I'm serious. Isn't this so crazy? They were
okay,
so
it does
mad.
Get good here.
No, they were so mad. So I'm going to go ahead and read this really quickly because I want to get this right. They even offered the U.S. Embassy space with Canada in the basement of the dorm. Okay. And then here's this one. The leader, his last name is Randazza, I think. I don't really know how to pronounce it. Purchased a Scottish lairdship through a magazine ad. So now even today, each successive House Council president has been a member of Scottish nobility. Isn't that so crazy? So when they wanted to get annexed from like the United States and all of the things, they sent over a letter to, at the time it was President George W. What is it? what's his name?
There's HW. and then there's
HW.
W.
Thank you so much.
HW's the older one.
Thank you, HW. Thank you for doing that for me.
Herbert Walker.
I also didn't go to UMass.
That's
Didn't get an
Lord.
offer either. George H.W. Bush was the president at the time. They sent a letter and said, hey, officially we want to be annexed from the United States, et cetera, et cetera. And this guy, who is now a lawyer, okay, Randazza, now like a real lawyer, he said since they never got an official letter back from the president, that technically they were annexed. I don't know how that works, but that's what he said. Legally, they were
So
annexed
if you
because
just
he never.
say you are and then nobody hears back,
Yeah, I guess. Because they said it to
that
him.
seems like a very flawed system.
Talk to Randazza. Don't talk to me about
Maybe
it.
we need to go to Butterfield.
I know. Anyway, so that's the story. Butterfield is interesting little place. Still exists on the campus too.
Semi-violent hippies turned U.S. Embassy.
Canadian Embassy? I'm actually not even really sure about that part. I just got this from that website.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
make it up. But anyway, they're the Minutemen. So I will say that.
You know what's very funny is that they went, oh, sorry, go ahead. Finish this and then.
Thanks. The Minutemen, it's called the Laura segment. They're called the Minutemen to honor the citizen soldiers from the colonial Massachusetts who fought in the American Revolution, embodying ideals of strength, resourcefulness, and readiness to fight for freedom. The name was chosen in 1972.
It's funny that they were trying to get annexed. And in return, they got a mascot that's supportive of the U.S. military.
Well, yeah, because let's see, this was in the 1970s. They changed the name in 1972.
There
So
you go.
everything was just happening so quickly.
That's a lot for Butterfield.
It's a lot for Butterfield, for Amherst. UMass Amherst.
Bunch of nerds.
Wish I could be one.
I don't think I could really say that on the podcast.
I wish I could. I'm saying we wish we could be one. Then maybe you would know a little bit more.
I
And maybe
probably would know a lot more.
I would know a little bit more too.
Yeah.
Not academically gifted. All right. So tell me about their team.
Well, so I'm actually going to go a complete different direction than I ever have, ever, in the history of ever.
Got it.
For this preview. Because I don't care about UMass.
Well, that's rude.
This, I think, is an Iowa game. Like, I don't think they're going to have some wrinkles for UMass. They're going to
No,
have
yeah. No,
like
the Hawkeyes are
some-
playing. You're right.
They're going to have... Matthew.
He said, this is an Iowa game. I hope so, because we're talking about it. Okay, go ahead. We're a bit unhinged this Sunday.
You
/
are.
Monday.
Croissant. Chocolate croissants to this.
Just go.
Anyway, so like they're gonna have some wrinkles for them, right? They run like a 4-2-5, 4-3. They've got a guy that kind of plays in and out of the box. You're gonna account for that, but offensively, they take a lot of mostly shotgun. They'll go under center every now and then. But it's just not about UMass. Like this game is about Iowa doing what Iowa needs to do to then move forward. Like this is a get right game.
Yeah,
is
we
what
need to
I'm gonna
gain
call
some
it.
confidence.
I think it's one of those where like we did throw it down the field one time against Iowa State to Seth Anderson, who got held. But like this, I think it's one of those where you have to let loose and just see what happens because I don't physically think they can lose this game. And that sounds really bad to say on the mic, really bad on a live mic. But I think it's one of those things where like they just need to go out and play Iowa football to prove that they can continue to play Iowa football.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like the offense is terrible and this is terrible and anything's terrible, right? Like they
Yeah.
almost beat a top 10 team in their house,
Mm-hmm.
meaning at Iowa State. So seeing that and seeing what the run game did the first week, like how can we mesh all of that with Gronowski so we go out there and look like the Iowa team that I think this team is capable of, especially in week 3.
I want to say this too. Usually for these games where like you really think they're going to win, I'll just say it that way. Usually for Iowa, that would look like, let's just run the ball, 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 run the ball. But I feel like this time maybe it's an opportunity to be like, hey, Mark, let's throw it so we can get you some confidence so we know what we're doing so we can feel a little bit better going into the rest of the season.
And to be
Yes.
fair, he hasn't played a full game in Kinnick yet.
Oh, true.
Well, he did at South Dakota State, but
No, you're right. You're right. No, I agree with you, Matt.
so I think it's one of those where it's like, all right, let's methodically move down the field. You're still going to play Iowa football, right? Like we're not going to throw 18 Hail Marys, like that's just not the Iowa way. but can we get some more play action, deep balls? Can we get some of that going? And then the rest of the season, like this is the launching point to the rest of the season. The fact that we play Iowa State so early, I think is both good and bad because it's like we don't really know who we are yet some of the times, just because, and KF will talk about this all the time, the 2025 team is different than the 2024 team, right? The 2024 team is different than the 2023 team. And you can talk that through personnel. You can talk that through coaches. You can talk that through scheme. Like there's all kinds of stuff that plays into it, right? But this is its own team and it's got to find its own way. And I think UMass is an opportunity to do that. You're going to lean on the run game. You are going to run the ball more than you pass it, right? Like that's just the Iowa formula. But at the same token, how do we incorporate enough easy passes? Because they're DBs. I mean, I watched the Temple UMass game. Like Temple's receivers were doing anything they wanted. Temple's tight ends were doing anything they wanted. It wasn't really like they had a really jod for position. They didn't have to really fight to get to where they needed to be. That's a thing. It's a thing. They had to fight for a position, but like they were just running all kinds of routes, just moving where they wanted to. They weren't super physical on the outside. So like Temple did what they wanted. I envisioned something like that to get Mark in the rhythm, get Gill in the rhythm, get Sam Phillips the ball a little bit more. We had a nice little RPO over the middle. I want to see him with the ball a little bit more. And Mark to play the full game with no corn sweats.
Really quick, as you're saying that, Matt, corn sweats, okay? It's real, and it's called evapotranspiration. I think I'm saying that right. When temperatures spike, corn releases water vapor into the air through its leaves up to 4,000 gallons per acre per day. This sweat adds humidity to the atmosphere. More humidity equals higher heat index, aka feels way hotter than it is. In the Midwest, where tens of millions of acres are covered in corn, the effect can amplify regional heat waves. But this isn't about blaming corn. It's about the bigger picture. Monocultures dominate our landscape. They're vulnerable to climate extremes. I'm sorry, that got a little farther than I wanted to. I'm so sorry. This is from Kiss the Ground. It's on Instagram. Thank you so much for this information, Kiss the Ground. I'm not really sure what this page is about, but either way, the corn sweats are real because it adds more humidity into the air. And you know what's so funny about that is we have a neighbor, and the reason I had that right at hand is because I sent that to her, a neighbor that came from Illinois, and she's like, I swear it is hotter here than it is in Illinois. And it's not that far away. And I said, it's because of the corn sweats. And she said, what's that? And I said, let me send it to you. And so I found it on Instagram and I sent it to her. She probably was like, what is your problem? But that's why, because there's more humidity and Mark felt it. Thank you and good night.
I do also like that it's the feels like temperature. It finally adds validity to the feels like.
No, that's so true. You're always like, it's 65, but it feels like 70. Okay, whatever.
Who says that?
Because of the corn.
Corn sweats.
Now you know.
All right, well, all that aside, I expect us to come out, play good Iowa football. I know this isn't the most in-depth preview that we've had. Although the corn sweats made me feel more like I went to UMass.
Got a little farther than I wanted to, but it's okay.
It's okay. The fact of the matter is, like, get the ground game going, throw some easy passes for Gronowski, try and open it up just a little bit, give him that confidence because the Big Ten schedules, I mean, like we got some good teams. We got a couple top 10 teams on our Big Ten schedule. It'd be nice to have kind of that deep throw confidence going into those games.
Totally. It is a 6:30 kickoff. I'm so sorry. I'm leaving you for bedtime yet again. And it looks like it's going to be 83 and cloudy on Saturday.
What does it feel like?
It doesn't say. Low of 66, high of 83, cloudy. That's a pretty good.
Can we get a percent
forecast.
Change due to corn sweats? Can we get that on the app?
Okay. I think you've kind of overplayed the joke now. Be nicer to Matt. All right, everybody. Make sure that you are following us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter/X, and I'm not going to call it X. And then make sure you're subscribing to our YouTube channel.
We did have a giveaway.
We hit over 1,000 and we did our giveaway. Who is our winner? His name is
Tyler.
Congratulations, Tyler. Thank you so much for listening and congratulations on winning the giveaway. We're going to be sending out your Talkin Hawks merch, gear, whatever you want to call it tomorrow. And yeah, just appreciate all of you guys. Thank you for tuning in yet again. Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.